Psalm 46 for sure. I got tattooed. But it's just, there's hope when oceans rise and mountains fall. He will never fail. This was cool during the first year where like things would get tough, but or even times like this where Corona hit, that just God's in control and He'll bring it back. And there's highs and lows in it, but He ultimately still reigns, deserves all the glory, is Lord, and just knowing that and knowing He won't fail. He has me. I'm His daughter. So I'm originally from Des Moines, Iowa, which sounds like small. It's the capital of Iowa. Still small, but like city girl, not really country. I grew up with a twin brother, and we played almost like every sport imaginable, like till I was 7. I did soccer, t-ball, basketball, swimming, tennis, wrestling, anything you can name it. And that's like, it was fun growing up with him because there's always a competition in that. And we made each other better, but it's also like growing up with someone your age is fun. My dad always was playing in the yard with us too, and very just like outside kids, love sports. My mom was a teacher, so we got good education through that. She really like started us off well, and then K through 12th grade we went to a good Catholic school, big Catholic school that had good sports and education. So enjoyed growing up in Des Moines, and I had a good childhood and everything. I had great friends I'm still in contact with there, and Iowa will always hold a special place, just a little colder than here. Honestly, it's just a God thing when people say how I got here. I knew I wanted to play in Florida. I knew just being indoors, I was kind of over it. I was fine getting away and from Iowa and having that distance from my family. I'm an independent person, it didn't really bother me. And I grew up going to Florida, vacationing my whole life, so it's something I always liked and was comfortable with. I talked to a couple different schools around here and kind of just got a hold of Coach Welsh, and she knows how to talk, knows how to make someone really interested in the place, and came down here for his visit, and we kept in communication, and I just really appreciated her at the time of how she recruited and the way she actually seemed like she'd care for me in this school and whatnot. It was a beautiful campus. I heard it was a Christian school. I figured I went to a Catholic school. It's the same thing. Not really, I found out, but it was just honestly a God thing how I got here. Definitely the rules here, and just I didn't really think like there wouldn't be parties or really kind of that school. When back at my Catholic school, I went for the education and good sports, and we talked about God among my family, but we didn't really go to church every Sunday. And it was a big school, so it wasn't as strict as you would say as it was here. In the beginning, that kind of scared me, and I rebelled against it for the first semester. But it was cool, just the people here. I noticed something was different about them, and something really stood out, and just got in some cool conversations with teammates, and just that kind of led into opening God, like slowly picking away at my heart and just kind of learning more about truly what God is and what the Christian life is, where I didn't really get in the Catholic school system or never then. So that was something that was definitely cool, and although I was skeptical, I'm very thankful now that I'm at a Christian university. Well, I got saved February of my freshman year, so second semester. I think a big thing was the saved by grace and saved by works kind of aspect. I always used to think if I'm a good person or if I do enough good deeds, I'll kind of climb this ladder to heaven and I'll be fine. And if I do something wrong, I slide back and I'll just climb 2 more, and kind of perpetually always like, maybe I'm good enough or I'll make up for it later in my later life. And just my perspective of that got completely changed. I mean, God just opened my eyes and my heart to that He chose us, and that it's nothing we deserve, and it's a free gift of salvation that He gave us, and just that I don't have to earn it, and that really that I'm His daughter, that which was a really cool thing that He spoke to me in the beginning, that He chose me and I'm the daughter of his, and just said I don't have to keep working and fighting to earn something, it's already freely giving. And that was something that just got unfolded through conversations like with Heather. She was a big part of me getting there. I played softball with her 2 years, now graduated, and just even listening to chapel services. I've never been in a church service that wasn't mass, and so it was very different and structured, but I very grown to like it, of what even how worship was and what people were saying, and just the Spirit of God kind of moving. And I think all of that combined together, God just knew his plan for me was to get here, and he had me. Well, my life obviously took a 180 and a very different. I was a new Lauren, and I got a little bit of pushback from my family from that. They've never really seen it before. I don't have any other Christians in my family. They're very good people, just it was different. I think it scared them a little bit, but also it was so foreign, kind of like I came here and got the culture shock that happened to them. So that was a little hard in the beginning. And then also I had to walk away from some friendships I made that first semester, some really good friends, and it was hard because I knew God was kind of telling me that and needed to grow, that I had to walk away in that time. And I was a baby Christian and necessarily maybe wasn't strong enough to keep those friendships at the time, just in order for me to grow and start pursuing him, which was a hard thing. And I kind of pleaded with God, like, no, like, I love these people, like, they're good friends and everything, but ultimately being obedient to him turned out for the best in that. With that friend, I ended up being able to, a year later, restore that relationship, and it was healthier than it would have ever been. It's cool how God that works when you're obedient, how he takes something away, maybe brings it back way better. And I was able to help baptize that friend, and we're best friends now, and it's really cool to see how that relationship was restored. And with my parents, I mean, things are growing. They're, as I grow with God, they're kind of getting more comfortable with it too, and just being seeing like where I am in that place. And they've always been loving and good parents, and they're just kind of learning more, which is cool to see kind of how that works and how God can work through me to enter into my family, which is something that's cool. I was also able to go on a mission trip that first year, which was amazing. Not only just being in a different culture, and the kids we helped and the communities, and being able to kind of finally share my testimony for the first time and share my faith kind of openly in that place. And really that's the purpose of it, is sharing Jesus, but also being around that strong group of people. We had a good team that went. It was a group of all athletes, and I really grew and learned from them, and just being in the discussions and even praying out loud, being kind of challenged to do that. And I kind of did that along with like Summer. She was in that group, and it was cool how we had each other in the milestones, that we were kind of working through our faith at the same time. And it's cool how God gave me that relationship too, we were going through the same things around the same way and growing, and just the people that were involved in that just were awesome.